to deploy some National Guard, but not enough. Yes, it does. It does hurt. And I'll tell you why. Because when you gesture towards that and you talk a big game and say, yeah, we're going after everybody, they are inciting the left. They are daring the left to retaliate. In the minds of the left, they think Trump is a fascist, and Trump says, call me a fascist.
Record back with another video, some more Nick Fuentes clips for you guys today. First clip we got for you guys is Nick saying why the government isn't capable of cracking down on left-wing extremism. And it's facts, you know, I mean, we've seen with the school shootings, you know, they've all been transgender weirdos, and they're all left-wing, you know. Trump, who shot at them, a left-wing, you know, they obviously don't like the right, you know, and it's not good, and it's just bad. And it's like Nick said right here, we're daring them to retaliate, you know, because we make threats towards them, and then they do what they do, you know. And like I said, Charlie Kirk, you can say whatever you want about it, but on paper, technically, the guy that shot him was a transgender, you know, even though we don't believe that bullshit ass story. But Nick talks about that. He also goes more in on MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, just saying that women shouldn't be in politics, and she's focusing on the Black Friday sale today, you know. So hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I'm gonna let Nick get into the clip, or you guys can watch it and all that. I'll ask if you guys like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the videos. Helps me out, helps the channel out. Thanks, like Monday through Friday on Rumble. I'll link it down below in the description. Everyone have a good one, and this is Nick Fuentes.
The crackdown after Charlie Kirk, they've done nothing. Nothing. And so you might say, well, does it hurt? Does it hurt to deport some people but not many? Does it hurt to deploy some National Guard but not enough? Yes, it does. It does hurt. And I'll tell you why. Because when you gesture towards that and you talk a big game and say, yeah, we're going after everybody, they are inciting the left. They are daring the left to retaliate. In the minds of the left, they think Trump is a fascist, and Trump says, call me a fascist. Mamdani goes to the White House and Trump says, yeah, call me a fascist. I don't care. He's embracing it. And the left really believes they're in the Third Reich. They think they're in the Fourth Trumpenreich in America, and the Holocaust is happening, and, you know, they're fighting back and all this, and they take this shit seriously. And they're getting armed, and they're shooting ICE, and they're shooting, it has happened several times now. They're shooting at ICE in Chicago, they're shooting at ICE in Texas, they're shooting at ICE in Washington State. Now they're shooting at the National Guard. This happens a lot. And maybe some of it is fake, certainly some of it is real. You know, we look across the board at Luigi Mangione, Thomas Crooks, Tyler Robinson, the tranny school shootings, the shootings at ICE, the shootings at National Guard. We could say maybe some of them are fake, but definitely some are real. And the fake ones are exacerbating the real anger that is really there, the real rage that is there. And it becomes self-perpetuating. And you know that these people are sitting at home watching TV, learning about how the billionaire oligarchs are instituting their fascist police state, and there's never going to be elections, and the military needs to resist Trump, and Trump is a tyrant, and you know, they're doing all this stuff. We got to shut down the government because Trump is destroying the institutions. And you have far left nut jobs that are saying, okay, we're going to go and kill the National Guard. We're going to go and kill ICE. These are Nazis. And if you don't actually have a police state, they're going to get away with it. It's just going to get ugly. Like I said, if you had a real police state, how is it even possible the National Guard is being ambushed like this? How does it even happen? The problem is you don't have enough of them. You got 2,000 guys, and they're, you know, it's lackadaisical. They're doing their patrols or walking around. It's totally unserious. And so somebody pulls up. These people are not afraid. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to go to jail. They're not afraid to die. Same thing happens with ICE. They're following ICE convoys in their cars, honking their horns, yelling, because they're not afraid. So when you step to the enemy, when you step to the left, and you gesture towards fascism, but you're not really bringing it, you're not serious, you're just daring them to retaliate. And if you're not strong, then we're just going to get killed. If you're not going to roll up Antifa, if you're not going to deploy 100,000 National Guard, if you're not going to deport millions of people, then you're just daring them. And they're emboldened, and they're not afraid, and they will be out there with guns and everything. And that's what this is. I've been saying it for a long time. Crazy people and the government, they're watching these events carefully, and they see the glorification of the assassins, the shooters, and between the psychedelic drugs, the weed, the chat GPT induced psychosis to porn, the internet, the mental illness, the prescription drugs, this cocktail of reality altering experiences. You have more crazy people than ever. They're all seeing the stuff and they're all making their plans. They're all scheming. And it's really just a matter of time. This is like you have live minds, like explosive minds everywhere, and we're just waiting to step on them. We're waiting for the next psycho to pop off, waiting for the next nut job to go and arm themselves because John Oliver told them that Trump is a dictator. And we're going to get more of it until and unless the Trump government is going to take it seriously and crack down. I'd support it at this point, but they're not going to do it. And Thomas Crooks shot Donald Trump. Every psycho in the country noticed. And they saw the infamy and they saw the potential. And when Luigi Mangione shot the CEO of United Healthcare, the way he was lionized, the way he was sexualized, every psycho, again, noticed. And they started devising their plans. They started scheming. And ever since then, we saw the assassination of Charlie Kirk, attacks on ICE, National Guard. Now this, it's only going to escalate. It's only going to get worse. And it could be organic and it could be fake. It could be fake to exacerbate organic violence. At a certain point, it takes on a life of its own. They light the fuse and the whole thing blows up. So it's a scary time. Everybody be safe. Holiday season's coming up. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Christmas soon after that. Got to be careful. Have to be vigilant because things are not as they seem. These are strange times. Drone attacks. I've been saying this. This is my next prediction. Screenshot this. We are going to see a drone-based terror attack on a mass gathering, I would imagine within the next 18 to 24 months. It's not hard to predict that. It's not hard to see that one coming. Russia's making 1.8 million drones per year. Ukraine is making millions of drones. It always happens like this. You think all those weapons are created? Some of them don't wind up in the hands of the wrong people? Can't control it. People aren't ready. So I think we're due for another very turbulent period of time in our political history. But women are not made to get shot. Women are not made to go and get thrown into battle and have bullets whizzing past their head, which is what you're kind of in for in politics. It happened to me. You didn't see me crying. A guy came to my front door with a gun. I kept doing the show. I came back a few weeks later. Hey, guys, I think I did a Christmas show the following week. I said, hey, guys, yeah, someone tried to kill me. Pretty fucked up. You move on. That's what it is. But this is the folly and the farce of women in politics. What it takes in politics is vision, leadership, long-term planning, abstract thinking, all these things that emotional control, discipline, always that women just lack. And people don't like to hear it that way because they like to say, well, I know a woman that's pretty strong. My wife is strong. My wife birthed 6 children. That's strength. Okay, but that's not running in Congress. That's a completely different thing. You know? And so on some level, you just have to look at her in some ways as a victim. And we as the men have to ask ourselves, are we going to keep subjecting ourselves to this? Are we going to keep empowering these overgrown fucking children to be in politics? She's going to be in Congress and we're going to tell ourselves that, this is really progressive. And, this is a feminist idea that we're going to have a woman in Congress. It's going to be telling everybody what to do and have an all-male staff. And she's going to run for president. Don't make me laugh. Women should never be the fucking president. The governor. Give me a break. But, this is where we are. This is where we are with our girl dads and wife guys in Congress. This is where you got Tucker Carlson motherfucking me on the show. Why are you attacking Marjorie? Happy wife, happy life. Listen, girl dad. Listen, girl dad, wife guy, boomer, whatever your name is. This is why we don't have women in politics, because when the going gets tough, it's not a movie. It ain't a movie. This is not the Avengers. This is not a Disney movie about a badass chick that learned karate and is kicking dudes in the head. This is not, This is not a Hollywood movie where the female mayor slams her fist on the desk and fights corruption and leads the nation away from cynicism and racism and hatred. This is not the Batman, okay? This is real life. That does not exist. That is a character in a movie that you have seen. It is not real. That does not happen. Take a look around the world. Where do you see that? Putin, Zelensky, Macron, Trump. It's guys. It's dudes. So it's our fault that we enable this and we empower this. She should not be in Congress. And I'm not saying this because I hate women. I don't hate women. I'm not saying this because I believe women can't do anything. But this is not the domain of women. Politics is like war. It is an extension of war. Who do you think the politicians used to be? Generals, warlords, fighters. And what defines the sovereign? It's the ability to take life. It's the ability to command your subjects to kill and be killed for the sake of the realm. That's what it means to be a sovereign. That's what it means to be the president. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And so if you're going to tell people to kill and be killed on your behalf as a leader of the country, you have to actually need to be a soldier or like eligible to be a soldier at one point in your life. And we all know why women can't be soldiers. They're not physically strong. They have their period. It makes them not able to go and extended missions and fight battles. And people might say, well, you're skinny, you're a weakling. Okay, but if necessary, any man would do what it takes to survive. That's what a man has to do. And that's what you do in politics. That's what you do as a leader of a country. Stop on the Marjorie Greene options and calls. No. She didn't resign because she wants to run for president. She resigned because it got too hard, because the pressure got to be a little too much. Southern belle, early hominid, Georgian girl can't play in the man's game, can't play in politics. If you can't take the heat, maybe it's time to get back in the kitchen. Can't take the heat, can't take the pressure, maybe it's time to get back in the kitchen. Thanksgiving is upon us. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes. Thanks. So Marjorie Greene, she's out. She left Congress. And like I said, everybody thought she's going to run for president. And it turns out she just quit because she freaked out. And she went on Twitter today and she had an absolute typical female meltdown. Typical female meltdown. This is why you can't put women in politics. Thank you, Marjorie. I really should send her a thank you note. Thank you, Marjorie, for proving to everybody this is why you can't let women in politics, because they just cry. Because they just cry. When shit gets too hard, they just cry. And you can't cry in politics because we have to save our country. We need the police. We need the National Guard to break the backs of our enemies. And it turns out you can't cry. You can't just have an emotional crash out. You can't have an emotional bitch fest because you're upset. This is what happens. So Marjorie is on Twitter. Mike Cernovich, who I don't even like, left her a very innocent reply. He said, you should have continued and served out your full term. You should have finished what you started. And Marjorie launches this big screed. She says, well, I should serve out my term. Why don't you run for Congress? That's what she says. You should get off your ass and run for Congress. I've been fighting so hard. She goes and she says, what do you want? You want me to die like Charlie Kirk? Is that what you want? You want me to get killed like Charlie Kirk? Are you kidding me? A congresswoman. To Mike Cernovich, all he said was, you really should have finished out your full term. It's only 2 years. That's not a long time. 2 years? You're halfway through. Just, hey, run through the finish line. Run through the first baseline. He said, just finish. She goes, why? You want me to get killed? Why don't you get off your ass? Stop being a keyboard warrior and put the phone down and you run. Oh my gosh. Women in politics. And you know, the only thing that I regret is that I wasn't with other people. I wasn't with the men, so we could all kind of share the knowing glance, like, get a load of this psycho bitch crashing out. Get a load of the emotional meltdown. Oh boy, here we go. That's the only regret. I was like in bed on Twitter. Then it gets better. She comes back for more. She can't help herself. She comes back for seconds. She's a glutton. She's a woman of consumption. She comes back for more. She quote tweets her own tweet, her own crash out on a different account. On her official Congresswoman account, the second account, and she says, I'll say this in the nicest way I can. Fuck you. And then she launches into yet another tirade, this time directed at men specifically. She said, typical man, typical Republican man. You expect your dinner on the table, but I've been telling you that the trash hasn't been taken out and the dishes aren't clean. Then she closes it by saying, I'm going to tell you, Republican men, make your own dinner, asshole, and clean up when you're done. Okay? The Congresswoman from Georgia, Representative Greene, this is a sitting Congresswoman. She says, such a typical Republican man. Make your own dinner, ass, and clean up when you're done. It's like, oh my gosh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thanks. Christmas came early, man. Black Friday came early. What a gift to us misogynists. What a gift. Thank you. A gift to the misogynistic men in your life. Classic example of why you can't have any women in politics. Love it. Thanks, Marge. What women do, no accountability. And it shouldn't be that way. They shouldn't be accountable. They shouldn't be really accountable. They should be accountable for one thing, and that is what they do with their bodies, and that's it. Because the rest, it doesn't matter. They should be accountable for the decision to hook up with men with no intention of bringing children into the world, or hooking up with horrible men and bringing future criminals into the world. That's what they should be held accountable for, because that is their obligation. Their obligation is to select the future of the species, and that's it, and it stops there. And then they're the homemakers. They raise the children, so they make up the home, they feed the children. Yeah, this is what they do. So, you know, they're not accountable, they'll never be accountable, and they shouldn't be. They're accountable for one thing, and that is sex. Period. End of story. It's how it should be. Now you know why. QED, end of discussion. So I saw that. I said, wow, amazing, amazing. It's really amazing.
How every time one of the conservative women who is against feminism and on the side of man actually occurs any conflict or criticism from a man, the inner feminist and sisterhood comes out viciously and with revenge. The psyop is deep.
Love it. Beautiful. It's so good. It's so good. I thought some things are just so good. It's just, I feel vindicated about everything lately. Like the Jews get together at their Congress and they're like, we need to ban anti-Semitism, and Nick Fuentes like, are you guys seeing this? Marjorie Greene, emotional crash out, hates men. Guys, no, look, guys, you're not watching. Look, hang up and hang out. Look, watch, you're missing it. I'm right about this too. You know, black people setting bitches on fire, stabbing them to death. It's like, guys, another one. Look, just like we said. Yeah, I don't love to see that, but it feels reassuring to know that I'm not crazy.
You know, it's facts. You know, Nick's been right about majority of the things he says, you know, about Israel, about the wars that we've been in. I mean, this guy is a smart dude, you know, I mean, and he knows a lot, you know, about history, everything, you know. And he's been right about Congress, about them, like I said again, about them passing everything about Israel, foreign aid. I mean, this is the guy that's called out everyone and their bullshit about Israel. It's him. He's called it all out, you know. It's just facts. No one else has done it besides him, you know, and he's got punished for it. And look at him now. You know, he's obviously killing it and having a generational run it. He's going to continue to do it, you know, and then no one's going to stop him. You know, the only thing that can stop him is death, and even that, his legacy will live on, you know. So that's all I got for you guys today. Like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the video. Helps me out, helps the channel out. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for everything. I mean, I appreciate everything, you know. Like I said, I'm not doing it. I like Nick Fuentes a lot, you know. I just want to put his clips out there and just everyone so they could see and get a little inspiration from him, you know, and just to get into politics too in these crazy times, you know. Because politics, people need to learn it, you know. I mean, I never liked it, but I mean, I got myself into it, you know. It's good because you know what's going on in the world, you know. So that's all I got for you guys. Everyone have a good one. Next live Monday through Friday on Rumble. Link it down below in the description. And this is P Record out.